The reason you keep relapsing isn't because you don't have enough willpower. It's because your lifestyle is setting you up to fail. Most brothers think they just need to try harder, pray more, or push through the urges. But if you're still sleeping with your phone in your bedroom, you've already lost the battle before it even begins. I've worked with brothers stuck in the same cycle for over a decade, and every time the pattern was the same: phone in the bedroom at night. They thought it was a weakness, but once that trigger was removed, everything shifted. In this video, I'm going to show you why willpower always fails, what I call the auto relapse that keeps you stuck on autopilot, and how to finally break it so you can build recovery on solid ground. If you don't deal with the auto relapse, every other recovery effort will collapse. You can pray harder, you can tell yourself never again 100 times. But if your environment still has the relapse button in it, you'll keep falling. This is step one. If you skip it, you're building recovery on quicksand. But once you understand it and remove it, everything else you try finally has a chance to work. I've seen this play out countless times. One of my clients had been stuck in the same cycle for 13 years. 13 years. Every session, he would come in shy, avoiding eye contact, quietly admitting he'd relapsed again. And every single time, it was the same setup: his phone in his room the night before a day off. And here's the crazy part: he didn't even realize the pattern. To him, it felt like some freak accident, some mysterious event he couldn't control. But it wasn't a mystery. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't weak iman. It was lifestyle. His environment was setting him up to fail on autopilot. And once we removed that trigger, everything shifted. Once you deal with the auto relapse, everything changes. You stop relapsing on autopilot. You stop waking up the next day in regret, wondering what just happened. Instead, you finally have a solid foundation, a lifestyle that supports your recovery instead of sabotaging it. It's like when you hop on a busy train. The doors close and everyone squeezes into their spot. And what's the first instinct? Boom, reach for the phone. Maybe you're not even a heavy phone user, but the second those doors close, your brain goes on autopilot. That's the habit the environment has programmed into you. Now imagine you left your phone at home. At first, you feel that dread, but after a while, you realize it wasn't that critical. And you start to notice just how automatic that reaction was. That's autopilot. And relapse works the same way. If the environment gives you instant access, your brain will keep going straight back to it. Remove the access, and everything changes. So here's the plan for this video. First, I'll explain what the auto relapse really is and why it keeps you trapped no matter how much willpower you use. Second, I'll walk through the two hidden triggers that create this cycle, the same ones that kept my clients stuck for 13 years. And finally, I'll give you 3 steps to start environment proofing your life so you can remove those triggers and build recovery on solid ground. Here's the real problem. Most brothers think they're failing because they don't have enough willpower. They tell themselves, if I try harder next time, I'll stop. But your brain doesn't work like that. It's too hardwired to the dopamine rush that porn gives it to let you win that battle, especially when you're tired, stressed, or alone. Think about it. There are places you've never relapsed in, like the masjid or around family. And then there are places where relapse is almost guaranteed: your bedroom, bathroom, or wherever you've acted out before. Those locations become relapse's home ground. And when your phone is there with you, relapse isn't even a decision anymore. It's autopilot. That's why you've been stuck. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because your environment is wired for relapse. Until you fix that, willpower doesn't stand a chance. This is bigger than just stopping a bad habit. If you keep hitting the auto relapse button, it won't just affect your recovery, it will bleed into every part of your life. It weakens your iman, it makes Salah feel empty, it eats away at your confidence. It even poisons how you look at marriage and your future family. Every relapse chips at your sense of control. You start doubting yourself. Sometimes you even start doubting your connection with Allah. Allah didn't create you for cycles of shame and secrecy. He created you with purpose, to worship Him, to live with honor, and carry yourself with dignity. And as a Muslim man, that means stepping up with strength, taking responsibility, and being a source of leadership in your own life, in your own family, and in your own community. But you can't step into any of that if your environment keeps pulling you back into auto relapse. So that's step one. Remove the auto relapse and stop building on quicksand. If you actually want to quit for good, this part is non negotiable. And this is just the beginning. In the next video, we'll go into the second truth, why you can't heal what you won't face. You'll find it right here.